Films have served as a greatly influential media throughout the 20th century. And as the world has changed, film has changed along with it. In fact, now that we are a decade into the 21st century, we see a massive change happening right under our nose. The switch from 2D to 3D. Vince Pace, whose company Pace co-developed the Fusion 3D cameras that were used in James Cameron's Avatar, claims that he thinks in 10 years, entertainment will feel like you're actually there. It will completely blur the line between the experience you took physically and the experience you took visually. Over the last few years, films using a number of 3D technologies, whether it's IMAX 3D or 3D animation, have become quite popular with the audiences as well as filmmakers. While the viewers can experience films like they never have before, those behind the camera have the capability to express their visions with greater detail and super realism. The shift to 3D is just another overhaul of the entertainment business, much like the advent of sound and color in film in the last century. Yes, indeed, 3D films are the new in thing. At the same time, it's a very old concept. Anyone remember those cardboard glasses with a blue lens for one eye and a red lens for the other? Those were what we used to watch what were then known as 3D films. So, we all can agree that there's an obvious difference between what was considered 3D then and what is considered 3D now. But what is the difference? And could this spell revolution for the worldwide film industry? In this segment, we look at the science behind this cutting-edge technology as well as how it could ultimately transform the movie-watching experience for millions of viewers like you and me. Now, back to those cardboard glasses. They were part of anaglyph imaging, a 3D imaging method that dates back to the 1950s. The images projected in the system were made up of two color layers superimposed onto each other. In order to create depth, the images were offset with respect to each other. Usually, you'll find the main subject in the center, while the foreground and background are shifted laterally in opposite directions. Once you pair the image with the color-coded or anaglyph glasses, which have lenses of chromatically opposite colors, usually red and cyan, each eye sees a separate visual. As there are two images overlapping each other, the red-tinted image is seen through one eye, while the blue-tinted image is seen through the other. As a result, the visual cortex of the brain fuses these into a perception of three-dimensional composition. Anaglyph imaging did have its shortcomings, like the limited color separation making it very difficult to perceive details, and ghosting, which happened when the image that was supposed to appear in your left eye crept over to the right. Furthermore, theaters using this method would have to install special silver screens, as the reflective surface would prevent the two separate light signals from merging into each other. The technology, which is referred to as 3D today, is much more complicated than just a bit of post-production video rendering and a pair of stereoscopic glasses. The most widely used 3D movie system in theaters today is Real ID Cinema. The high-resolution digital cinema-grade video projector used in it has a filter in front of it that uses circular polarization to beam the film onto the silver screen. Yes, the silver screen is still used today. The advantage of this is that unlike in previous technologies, it doesn't need two projectors to shoot out images in separate colors. And you can move your head around without losing the 3D perception. Real ID Cinema was used in numerous films, including Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, as well as A Christmas Carol. Even though Real ID Cinema was one of the pioneers in the current renaissance of 3D movies, its direct competition is Dolby 3D from Dolby Laboratories. Even the glasses that go along with it contain special filters which separate the red, green, and blue wavelengths for each eye. So, we've established that this new technology can lead to a whole new revolution in films. Did I mention that 3D films actually garner more revenue than traditional two-dimensional films? Financially speaking, 3D versions of movies like Chicken Little have earned more revenue than their 2D counterparts, and the industry expects to see more of this in the future. According to an analyst at JP Morgan, we believe that 3D has the potential to meaningfully boost growth by allowing theaters to offer a new visual experience that we believe will drive incremental attendance and price hikes. The analyst went on to say that he estimates 3D movies will draw at least 10% more viewers than 2D equivalents, and that each moviegoer would be willing to pay about $3.50 more per ticket within the next year. Now that equates to $300 to $400 million in additional earnings for theater companies. In regards to 3D equipped theaters, he anticipates a leap to 7,000 by 2010. About 90% of the piracy that plagues the film industry comes from camcorders pointed directly at the screens. The best part about 3D films is that you can't record them with a camcorder. The future is now, as the golden age of cinema washes over us in all its three-dimensional glory. Even though it's still in its infant stages, we're seeing mind-blowing examples of how this new technology can be put to use. In so many words, the possibilities for films of the future seem practically endless. Humans are no longer the only ones who spend their time twittering. Now, with the help of botanicals kits, your plants can directly communicate with you via online Twitter status updates sent directly to your cell phone. Whether you forgot to water them, haven't watered them enough, or you've overwatered them, they will promptly inform you of your mistake. To top it all off, they'll even thank you when you show them some good loving.
This week, the world was introduced to the long-awaited Google phone, aka the Nexus 1. Equipped with an incredible organic LED screen which features very vivid colors, the phone offers a superior 5-megapixel camera with a built-in flash, asking the user for a Google login as soon as the phone starts up. It's a bona fide powerhouse for the Google lover, lining up one's web searches, email, contacts, etc. with blazing synchronicity and speed. Apart from this, one other notable point about the Nexus 1 is the voice capability. There's very little delay and pinpoint clarity in recognition of speech, making voice capability a real reliable feature of this phone. However, it still misses some features like multi-touch and also, of course, a lack of a plethora of apps comparable to that of the iPhone. The design was also noted by critics as lacking luster as compared to, well, of course, the iPhone. For a general idea of the price, it'll soon be available in the UK for a searing £330. That is, of course, without a contract and SIM, but even a contract may not significantly dip the price for the average consumer.